Hello, Machinist Union members and our allies in the labor movement. This is your weekly 141 report, and I'm your host, Dave Lehive, a communications representative for District Lodge 141. Our conversation this week brings you to the Hawaiian Islands on the island of Oahu to speak to our sister, Jen Romano. The topic will be about the remote reservations work our IAM members are doing for United Airlines. Join us as we discuss this and other topics. All of this and more as our 141 report starts now. Aloha, Sister Jen. It's very nice to have you on this week's 141 report.
Aloha, kakahiaka, which is still morning here. So good morning.
So like 6 hours difference. I am so glad to have you on, Jen. Thank you for volunteering to come on and talk a little bit about what you do. So before I start out, I always like to ask my guests, give me a little background about yourself. So when did you start in the airline industry? What do you do currently now? And tell us about the positions you've held in Machinist Union.
All right. So I have been with United Airlines now 23 years. I started back July of 1998, actually on my birthday. And at that time, we were non-union. We did not become union until the following year in 99. And since then, 1999, I've held I've been a shop steward since we started. And a little unreal thing about it was when I started in 98, we were only getting minimum wage, which was like $6.75 an hour. And then right when we became union and we ratified our contract, we jumped up to like almost $9. So it was really awesome, you know what I mean, to see the big jump of being union and non-union. From there, I have been a shop steward for a very long time, started my family, and then decided finally about 2017, it was always my aspiration to become a committee person, but 2017, I finally was elected as the Hawaii and Alaska Region Committee Chairperson. So I have been doing that from 2017.
Okay, so you've done some committee work though, haven't you?
Correct.
Yeah.
So as a shop steward, I would help the committees and do some committee work here and there.
I thought that was part of your history as well too. I mean, you've always done great work. You've always been involved with the local and whatnot. And mentioning the local, which local are you attached to for our viewers?
So the Hawaii area is part of Local 1979. Okay. Which is here on Oahu. Majority of our membership is from Hawaiian Airlines.
Okay.
So there's a big presence of our brothers and sisters from Hawaiian. And then we also have Alaska, Philippines. We just added Southwest.
Yeah.
So it's really awesome to have, all the airlines there.
You guys have a great local. It's so, when I go over there and I meet the members, I feel so welcome when I go there. You guys have just a great family of union members, and I really appreciate the hospitality when I do get out there. There's one other local that's out there, but they're like a government local, right? They're like there's only two locals on the island, and you guys have the airlines, and then it's all the federal workers and whatnot is in the other one, right?
Federal, the state, and then we, the teachers union and things like that. So HTA, HSTA, which is the teachers union, HGEA. So they handle a lot of the hotel as well.
Yeah, but it's primarily two machinist locals. That's what right? Okay, I just wanted to double check on that. So today's topic is about remote reservations. And I understand that you are what they call a regional rep for the union. Can you explain this role to our viewers and listeners?
So basically my region, again, like I explained, was the Hawaii. So the Hawaii main islands, Oahu, Big Island, Maui, Kauai. I have agents there. And then we also have Alaska as a remote possibility, but I don't have any agents yet that have moved to Alaska.
Oh, okay.
So I basically take care of about close to 300 agents remotely. And doing basic committee work, which is filing grievances, working with United Airlines, the company, in the contact centers to resolve any type of issues, be it contractual or non-contract.
Okay, well, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you, is how many people you look at. So about 300 members. They work out of their homes, right? They work out of their homes. They have an office set up there. And but you guys at one time actually had the brick and mortar building there, right? And then
Correct.
they closed that and they went all remote, right?
Correct. So be 2018, when we went full remote, we did have brick and mortar there. And then we went full remote, which is everyone went home to their homes and they started, doing their res work through there. In order to do that, we hook up with Vonage. So Vonage is a separate like internet provider that connects the 800 number to our homes. And then we use our local internet providers to patch it together, basically. So we have to do dual.
Yeah. I try to have our members kind of explain it, because one of our members may not fully understand how that all works. So that was a great explanation. So who do you coordinate with in the union around the country? I know you work with other regionals. Who are some of the other people you work with?
So we have different committees. We have in the West region, that's Jen Jolly, and you've had an interview with her and met her. And then the mountain areas like Texas, all that middle area, that's done by our sister Renee. And then the Chicago area is done by Dina Pena.
Okay.
And then we have the upper eastern area, which is done by Jill.
Okay.
And then the Florida lower eastern side is done by our brother Tony. All right, so all of us together collaborate as committees and get things resolved for reservations, brick and mortar, or at home.
All right, so you guys like get on like Zoom calls and you guys talk and you talk about, hey, this issue's happening here, our local, what are you guys doing at yours? And you guys are able to hash that out and try to come up with solutions to problems that you may be facing, with maybe with the company or with the membership, or right? That's
so basically we have a group app as a group, which actually while we're talking, they're messaging at this moment. So we go through that. We do text message, we do email. We also go on twice a month now, Zoom, and we go over things that we may be occurring. If something comes up, that maybe I'm experiencing, hit the group message and say, hey guys, are you experiencing this? And if they are, then we all collaborate together to find the best resolution.
All right. So some of the concerns your members might encounter, what would they typically be? I don't have to go into specifics, but I just got generalization.
The biggest one, I think right now, being that majority of our reservations is at home, is getting in contact with us. We do go on Facebook and social media. We use that as a huge platform. There's several Res Anywhere groups or social media groups for our Res at Home, but just getting in contact with us or our specific regions. And so basically what we do is, if we're on Facebook or if somebody, word of mouth says, hey, call this committee or whatever, and they may not live in our area, of course we help our members first, and then we say, hey, but this is your region, person that you go to, and we shoot off their contact information. So basically right now we're just trying to build our database, because there are so many at-home agents. I think we have over 1,700 that are out around the United States. Yeah. And to get in touch with them, it's really hard. When we were in that the brick and mortar setting, it was so easy just to walk up to their desk and say, hey, how you doing? But at home, kind of different. So we have to use all the technology type
Connections.
aspects to
Yeah.
get our memberships together.
That is a big job. That is a big job. So let me ask you, who's your primary assistant general chair that you work with in your region?
So the primary assistant general chair I work with is Sandy Olmos,
Okay.
wonderful lady. Pretty soon she is going to be retiring, so
Wow.
I then will have to move on to another AGC, and she will be well missed. But she's
she's a great
terrific.
AGC. She really is.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's terrific. She always helps me, with problems that we have in res. And then also, because I'm really close with the ramp committee as well as the customer service, and we all collaborate, work together, especially when our agents are transferring within, departments.
Right.
So it's really good.
Oh, that's terrific. You've got a really good AGC there. I know her well. So as United and IAM begin expedited talks, what are the members kind of looking towards in the contract? I know you guys, if I understand it correctly, you guys are now at par with everybody else pay-wise. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
wonderful.
That's great news.
December 1st, our last installment from this current contract, increased our pay. So everyone, either you're brick and mortar or you're working at home, all are getting the same exact pay. So it's a wonderful thing. It's a long time coming since the merger. Our brothers and sisters from Continental, before we merged, they were at about 15 to 20% pay difference from in office to at home. And to see it come forward.
Yeah.
And be at the same, that's one of the biggest things that everybody was waiting for.
That was great news. I knew that was coming, and I wanted to talk to you about that. So I'm glad that's out there. Our members out there, that even our members that we'd like to try to, organize, like JetBlue and Delta, they need to understand that it's negotiations gives you power, and you guys are able to negotiate with the company to get your wages up like that. So that's a job well done right there. The proposals, did you really encourage your members get out there and tell them get your proposals in for the upcoming talks? I'm sure you probably had your hands full there.
I was probably irritating my membership too much with weekly emails reminding them.
Yeah.
But what I did was I also, every time somebody gave me a suggestion, I forwarded it off to my, my mass group text or whatever we use. I also have, I created a website for myself, which is hawaiicommitteechairman.com. And so I update there. It's in the works. I'm still working out some kinks, but I would email them all the suggestions that were coming into me, so that just in case they felt the same way, but forgot, because
Yeah.
it's been a while. Right.
Yeah.
So that they would too put it in the survey. And I think one of the biggest things that we took away was our work rules. We as at-home agents need stronger work rules, because right now we collaborate and we're part of the same contract with our customer service at the airport. And our language for at home is not as strong as it is for
brick and mortar,
our customer service.
Yeah.
agents.
Yeah. I was going to say, so do you feel that the at-home res people, they miss brick and mortar, or they miss the contract language that was so important?
I think personally, I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
I miss the work rules
Yeah.
more than being in the office. I was apprehensive about going home.
Okay.
And I was like, all this, I'm really social with, my people.
Yeah.
And to go home, it's like, oh my gosh, be home alone in an office by yourself. It's like, but with the communications we have, instant message with the company, email and things like that, it works. And so, and it's a little bit less stressful.
Okay.
Just being in your home and being not having anybody, I don't want to say hound you, but be around you. Yeah. So you have that calmer atmosphere. And I think it helps our agents.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of them love it.
Yeah.
They can't wait to go home.
You do a great job. Well, mahalo, Sister Jen, for your report today. I really want to wish you and all of the members on the islands a Mele Kalikimaki. Did I say that correct?
Mele kalikimaka,
Mele
e haole
Kalikimaka.
makahiki ho.
Okay.
Yes, Mele kalikimaka, which is Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Okay. Well, enjoy the holiday, sister. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Dave. Have a good day, guys. Aloha.
Well, as we begin to close out this week's report, on this past Tuesday, Spirit Airline Management Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer John Benderitas, Vice President Airline Service Mike Byram, with Susan Kramer, Senior Director of Labor Relations and Legal Counsel, met with IAM negotiations team members from 141, President Directing General Chair Mike Clem, AGC's Tony Gibson and Andrea Myers, along with Spirit employees, committee man Chris Willis, stewards Linda Germain and Almarie Jean, and bid committee man Gregory Delacruz. They met to officially sign the contract, which gave Spirit IAM members better overall compensation, job security, better work rules, and a contract which becomes amendable in 2026. The members overwhelmingly ratified this agreement with a 98% yes vote on November 5th. These Spirit workers are proud as they have chosen a seat at the negotiations table and have a voice in the work that they perform. Non-union members at JetBlue and Delta Airlines should take note that if you're not seated at the table, your management sees you on the menu. Reach out and talk to an IAM organizer, sign your authorization card, and get yourselves unionized with the IAM. This wraps up this week's 141 report. Before we finish, we do have a shout out call to all of our members who are photographers. District 141 wants photos of our members in the work that they do. So if you have some photos you want displayed at District Lodge 141's main office, please visit iam141.org and look for the button to submit photos on the contact page. So after some 82 straight weeks of the 141 report, the last 2 weeks of the year, we'll be running our holiday message from District Lodge 141's e-board. We'll be back January 7th with our next 141 report. Until then, on behalf of Eric Price and myself and the 141 Communications Department, we both want to wish you a very happy holiday and a new year. Bye for now.